Hey y'all, hey, it's cold out here today. So I had another video that I wanted to upload today, and I was trying to add a photo that said that I had 100 subscribers. So this morning I didn't get a chance to tell you guys that, because at the time when I got up this morning I only had 99, and I have a goal that was set for me to get to 100 subscribers, and once I got to that 100 subscribers, then I could give myself a gift. And so I plan to use that gift later. But tonight, as I was getting ready to bring my son to his baseball game, something happened, and it made me think about, as a content builder, you're always thinking about information for others. And it made me think about, ladies, sometimes you need to know when to hold it and when to fold it. And it made me think about times that we need to zip our lips. And so in relationships, oftentimes, if we're really honest, sometimes we want to have the last word. And I wanted to mention to you about something that happened with my son. We were on our way to the baseball game, and I had asked him multiple times, do you have all your things? Put your things in the car. And earlier today, I was working in the yard, and while I was working in the yard, I put all of his baseball items together because I was in the garage, and so I saw he had his glove in one place, his cleats were outside. I put all of his things inside his bag. I didn't zip it up, but I did put it inside the bag. And so when we leave the house, and maybe 20 minutes out, we're still close to the house, but maybe 15 to 20 minutes out, he says, man, I left my glove. And I'm like, no, I put your glove in, I put your glove inside your bag. And he's like, well, Mom, I went back in and I took the glove out. And I said, are you sure? Like, did you do that after this? And so we pull over because we're close enough that we can turn around, but we're also going to lose time based on the time that he wanted to be at the park. And so based on him calling to the house, and he found out that the glove was still there, he then made arrangements for us to meet up with my other sons and actually be able to get the glove. And at that moment, I wanted to go in with the, why don't you put your things in the car? I told you to do this, da 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 da. And my spirit said, not right now. And I'm saying that, ladies, that we need to know when it is the right time to communicate about something. He was already a little bit nervous. He's playing with a team he's never played with before. We are playing at one of the largest parks for youth baseball. So he's really excited about that. And then, to know that he left his glove, and that's a part of his equipment that he needs. So I'm saying that to you because sometimes in our relationships, we need to know when to hold it and when to fold it. We need to know when it's time for us to actually communicate about certain things, or when it's time for us to just hold that, because that's not the right time to communicate about something. And sorry, somebody is walking over, and I just want to move away from where the boys are getting ready to pitch. But I'm saying that to you because sometimes we have the ability to control the temperature in the home. And when I'm saying that, no, you can't control people, but you can control how things will go sometimes. And you need to know your mate well enough to know whether that's a time that he's under a lot of stress, whether that's a time that he is dealing with something else, and whether or not that's the moment to say anything about that. I did not open my mouth because I knew my son was already feeling bad enough about leaving the glove. He understood that he had not done his due diligence in the time that he had to take care of that. And so I just felt led to come out and say, sometimes you need to know when to hold it, when to fold it. That might not be the good time when things happen at that moment to speak about that particular circumstance. But wait until the right time. Wait until you're in the right mood. Wait until your countenance is in a place where you're calm and you can discuss that matter in a more loving way, and deliver it in a way that it's not accusing him of something, or making them feel even worse than what they already are. Now, if there are men watching this, I will say that the same thing goes for you. This is not just for women, but this particular video is for the ladies. It's for you to be able to say, let me take a step back and see whether or not, let me take a temperature check and see whether I just might need to zip it at this very moment. And it doesn't mean that we are to be silent. It just means that you need to use wisdom in the times that you are to speak. And so if you're using wisdom, then oftentimes your delivery will be accepted better if you approach it in a different way. And then, you know, it if I would say so, you got to know when to approach it. So I think y'all can read between the lines. This, you know, you got to know when is a good time to approach an issue or a challenge. Now, every time ain't gonna be that way, and it ain't gonna always be peaches and cream and, you know, roses. But you can do that as much as possible. If you can create that atmosphere in your home 80% of the time, then the 20% really won't even matter. You know, the 20% will balance itself out in the other things that you have that are going on. So I was just led to speak about that in reference to him leaving that baseball glove. And it was like the Lord just said to me, don't open your mouth. Don't say anything. Because I could tell he was already anxious. He had already asked me about getting here like a couple of hours early. I was like, a couple of hours? Like, y'all already don't play till 8 o'clock. This is crazy. And, you know, where we live, traffic is just, you know, it's crazy anyway. So even if you live an hour away from somewhere, you got to leave almost 2 hours early to get there. But ladies, just know that sometimes we need to know when to hold it and when to fold it. And, you know, if you hold it, then, you know, the right time will come for you to fold it. Read between the lines. All right, y'all. Have a good night.